money as well. So just to give you a little bit of background about who I am, is I've been doing this for about 25 years. I am basically not a neat freak. I discovered really that I had a gift and a skill when I was working at a company that I really loved, but I got downsized. And then also just, my mother, okay, and just some things that I learned good from my mother was labeling. She always labeled things, but also I learned hoarding from my mother as well because she kept every single thing. And also one of the things that I am really great that I accomplished was I had the opportunity to meet Rachel Ray herself, because last year I had the opportunity of going on the Rachel Ray show, and it was right after the Eagles won the championship, right after Villanova brought back the trophy, and I was determined I was going to bring back something to Philadelphia. So I was crowned the clutter-free queen. So I'm excited, and just because I got to stand next to Peter Walsh too, that was just a wonderful joy. But in organizing, a lot of times it's not something we intentionally do just to be disorganized, but we have a lot of stuff in our homes and our lives, and we get overwhelmed with all of that stuff. And statistics says that we have over 300,000 items in our lives. Now that depends on what size home you have. But if you think of every shoe, every sock, every pencil, every pen, every fork, every knife, all of that stuff begins to add up. And sometimes you just need to really learn how to really maybe sometimes just do with what you really need to have. For example, I share with people, a lot of times you see those things in the store where you can get all of these food storage containers for like $9.99, 50 for $9.99. But do you need 50? I know personally, because it's only me, I may need 7, maybe 10, but I don't need all of those. Also, the home size has tripled. And unfortunately, what happens is people are in homes, they feel like the walls are closing in, so they move to a bigger home. But then what happens is they see the empty space and they feel like they have to fill it. And a lot of times it's basically being free to just have space in a wall, have empty drawer space, have a little space in the closet, but don't feel like you have to fill every single space. Also, we rent a lot of off-site storage, but that's just because there's things in our homes and our lives that maybe we can't fit, but we want to keep hold of them. It might be something from our past. For example, I had a client who was married for 8 years, had children, but he was still holding on to all of the things from his bachelor days. And because it was out of sight, out of mind, he really didn't feel like dealing with it. So each month when the bill came, he just continued to pay the bill every month, every year, until decades passed. And then of course, we have the garages. We have one car, but then we get 2 cars, so then we feel we need a 2-car garage. But what happens is we can't even fit 1 car in there. And sometimes that's because, the cars are in the driveway, and then all of a sudden you realize you're having company, something's happening in the home, so you begin to start filling that empty space, and before you know it, it's so full that you can't put the car in there. And then last but not least is our children. Now in America, 3.1% of the children of the world are in America, 3.1%. But the children in America seem to have 40% of the toys. And what happens is, then you don't have space for those things, but also, I'm going to share with you later, sometimes those children don't get rid of those toys until they're in their 50s. So those are some things, some statistics I wanted to share with you. But if you don't walk away with anything else today, just walk away with 80% of the stuff we keep, we never reference again. You pull out articles in magazines. Maybe all of a sudden you decide you want to hold on to this little piece of something because you can actually use it for a future project, but you really don't. And also, we wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time. And a lot of times it's things that, we have those gowns, we have those special occasion items, we see something on sale because it's a good buy, but we never wear it and it still has the price tag on it. So remember that 80% of the stuff we keep, we never reference again, and we wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time.